everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I want to pour the Druzy trinket mold from MoldsandShapes again, and I thought I use pigment paste. So I have this gorgeous color and I'm showing you in a second, and it's called Olive. So I thought this might be nice for the edges of this mold, and I really love this tone. It's a pigment paste from Elegant, and I got it from Stephanie Etta. So I thought I need to test how pigment paste is working, because actually I'm not working much with pigment paste, but I thought I just try. And you see I added a little bit more of it into my resin. The resin I'm using here is the Ultra Cast resin, a medium viscosity resin. And now my second color, it's in a small cup, and I want to make a 3D bloom. And there, the nozzle was not open, so I needed to get a scissor and snip the nozzle open so I can drop the pigment drops. I didn't see this, and yeah, I'm sorry. So I went with 3 drops, and I'm just stirring this in my little cup, and I'm just checking a little bit, and I think it has the right consistency, and it's quite good. It's not too opaque, but also not too little. So I was just checking again and again. I don't know why. Normally I know my consistency, but sometimes you have those days. Anyway, there's now my olive color. I really adore this. And I just pour it from rather up high, just to avoid too many bubbles at the sides, into the edge of my mold. As you probably know, this mold is from MoldsandShapes. I will link everything into my description box so you can check it. There is also the discount code for MoldsandShapes and also for Etta Art. So if you're interested, just have a look, and everything is linked there. Now I'm taking my clear resin and I'm just putting this into my mold. Just make sure I take everything I have. So I'm also scratching a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I think I stirred quite well, and it should be fine. And now I'm very carefully using the heat gun. And I'm really saying very carefully, because the distance from the edge of the mold to this plateau, I call it a plateau of silicone, is only 5 millimeters. It's not very thick, so that's why I'm very careful. And also I'm careful because of the crystals. So I don't want to ruin my mold, because it's such a gorgeous and awesome mold. Anyway, as you saw, I used some of the leftovers from my green, so that everything is in my mold. And now I'm just doing a spiral with my white. And at the end, I'm doing some ziggy-zaggy spiral thing. And I don't want to spread the white too far out, because I didn't want it to be touched with the green. Well, at least not yet. And then I can take my dotting tool and I can just make sure that I create my petals. So I'm going from the outside to the inside. It's the easiest way of really doing a 3D bloom. And this I'm doing 8 times. You see it there. So, and then I was thinking, do I leave my flower like this? But then I thought, I could maybe just the inner bit pull to the outside. You see it there. I'm not completely pulling my stick through the petals, only the inner petals. And I just thought I'd just leave the outer petals as they are. Then I was doubting doing a swirl or putting something else into the center. Looking back, I should have done a swirl, but I didn't. And sometimes you just shouldn't leave your favorite thing, what you're familiar with. But anyway, you will see it at the end. And then it's also when I ask you what you would do. But anyway, so this is done, and I thought something needs to be in the center. So I had these glass stones. I was just getting them out of my room, was searching them in my cupboard. So there they are, and now I'm just placing them into the center of my mold. I'm taking my fingers. It was easier than this big and huge popsicle stick. And there you go. I didn't want to use too many, and I'm just pushing this into my mold, and then I'm really hoping for some nice effects. I just have it a little bit with my heat gun very carefully, and now there's a time lapse where you can see how the green is going, moving over my white. And at that moment I was quite happy, and you see also the center. It is practically closed, but somehow you will see it with the demolding, what happened to my center. But so far so good. I'm quite happy with the time lapse and how it's looking. And there you can maybe already see a little bit of the center, which is not quite good. It's difficult to see because the mold has this bluish color, and with the white it's not always so clear to see. But anyway, this is now actually the same day. In the evening I could demold. It was still a little bit bendy, but I was just curious, especially with my center and what effects I can have. And yeah, so you need to first loosen your sides, and then you need to loosen carefully the inner bit. So I'm always trying to be as careful as possible, demolding this. And now I'm very, very curious. And look at this. Do you see the center? I'm so happy with the flower itself, but I'm not happy with the center, and I don't know what happened there. So I'm happy with the green going over my white, and the flower, even though it's very, very narrow or very thin part of the mold, turned out very beautiful. But the centerpiece, I don't know. Maybe you can give me a suggestion. What can I do so that it looks very good with the center? Yeah, I'm just looking forward to your comments regarding this, because this time I'm really lost. Anyway, with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and take care, guys. Bye-bye.